Easy now. Papa got things making hands
come down. Ooh, you make my high come down. Always tripping when you come around. I'ma have to cut you off, like right now. You see, I don't want to drive me. You can say that for your mama. Maybe you should smoke some. Me try the marijuana. I was never you good. The vibe was straight. Showed you a couple of things and they ain't finna change. I treated you right. Everything was a gift from a time to your bag and the color on your lip. Yeah, you
Welcome to a special edition of Seahawks Man to Man, a YouTube exclusive. My name is Michael-Shawn Dugar. You guys know where to follow me over on X, Twitter, whatever Elon Musk is calling that app these days. My at name has not changed, thankfully. It's at Mike Dugar, Mikedugar. You guys can see it on the bottom of the screen if you didn't catch all that. We appreciate the love and support on our YouTube channel, Seahawks Man to Man, the name of the channel. Obviously, if you guys are watching, you know that. But while I'm talking, hit the button, hit that like, hit the subscribe. We thank you so much when you guys do that. We could not do this show without you guys, so appreciate you. Chris, go ahead and holla at him.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Christopher Kidd. You can follow me on Twitter at CKIDD206, and that's CKid206. And as Mike mentioned, we're back. Standout plays week 14. Mike is going to impress you guys with some of the explosives that were happening on the defensive end, and it wasn't good, okay? But I will try to give a little positivity from that game. I know it's 4 straight losses, potentially 5 against the Eagles, but we'll get to that later. Next Monday, next Tuesday, whatever the case may be for that game. But for now, we're going to start off looking at the defense because while there was a lot of lowlights in that game, there were some things that I know Pete Carroll was saying, yes, this is what I want the defense to look like more consistently because the Seahawks have the guys to do it. They just have to put that package together and do it more consistently. And if they do that, there's really no telling how good this team can be moving forward. So we'll start off with the first play here. Right now, you're looking at, I want to say it's the first quarter. It's tied 7-7. And the Seahawks here, they're going to be in man-to-man. And the key indicator and when they're in man is motion. Motion, oh, look who's following. So Jamal Adams is locked in on Christian McCaffrey. Do I like that matchup? Not necessarily, but in this scenario, it works out. And we've talked about it a lot on this show where the pass rush D-line and the corners on the same page of getting to the quarterback. So in this scenario, it all worked out. Everyone's on the same page. They call it great blitz, and it works out. So personnel-wise, the Seahawks actually go dime. So Jordan Brooks is not on the field. This is going to be 6 defensive backs out there, including linebacker Bobby Wagner, who is actually at the line of scrimmage at the bottom of the screen next to the logo. He's getting ready to blitz. Seahawks are showing blitz. They're going to blitz here. So if we run it through, again, there's 6 DBs. You have 11 personnel, 5 wide, but then they motion Christian McCaffrey into the backfield or motion him to the backfield. He keeps moving, lines up right next to Purdy. In this scenario, he could be an extra blocker. So Jamal, he would be able to read what Christian McCaffrey is doing. But in this scenario, when I roll it, you guys will see that it's a blitz. Bobby's coming on a blitz. It'll be a stunt. And Leonard Williams is able to make the play. So I'll go ahead and roll it and just watch how everything is pretty much bottled up. If you get to the top of his drop, which Mike has explained, that's what he does when he's watching film. You could see that there's really not anything open right now. If he was looking to throw the football to someone, his best bet would be Juan Jennings, who is coming across the logo. But even then, that could be undercut and that could be made. Maybe a pass breakup. If he has enough speed, maybe to get the interception there. So there's a potential that I don't see much open. And then you also have Quandre at the top of your screen here at the hash. He is playing center field. He's zone coverage here because everyone's in man. He is the deep safety. He's reading Brock Purdy. He's trying to see where he's going to go with it. And again, Mike Jackson he's doing good in coverage over there. I love where Julian Love is set up against George Kittle. I like how Jamal Adams is pretty much, he's squared up, getting ready to take on Christian McCaffrey. And then you have Ayuk, and if I'm not mistaken, that would be Devin Witherspoon. So everyone is doing their part. And as you can see, Leonard Williams is blocked right now, but Bobby Wagner does a good job and does a stunt, which allows for Leonard to peel off and make the play. So if I go ahead and run it, you're going to see Leonard Williams step into the film and boom, he makes a great play. So this was something drawn up that I like, and I just wish this was more consistent for this team. You get a really good angle of how Bobby does a really good job in freeing up space and allowing Leonard Williams to make the play. So this is something that I want to see the Seahawks do more. I mean, look at that. Whips around. He has to step up, and then Leonard Williams is right there. And I'm sure they worked on that in practice. And this is something that you want to see more often. So you get the back end zone view, get the end zone view of it, or the back end view of it, I should say. So Bobby again, you'll see him line up, stunt, come across. Leonard, hey, got you. Easy money. Those are things that I think Pete's like, yo, we just have to be more consistent. Great play call. Everybody executed. Great coverage, too. That's something that this team has to build upon as they get ready to take on the Eagles on Monday Night Football. This next play is another good example of the Seahawks handling business, getting things done the right way. So this is going to be, I want to say, third quarter. The Seahawks are trailing 14-10. It'll be 3rd and 6. We've talked about third down situational football for the offense and defense. The offense is struggling, so is the defense. But in this scenario, I'm going to point out the fact that the Seahawks actually get it done. The Niners come out again in 11 personnel, so that's going to be 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, and a running back. And the Seahawks, they go 6 DBs, which is going to be the dime package. So again, Jordan Brooks is not on the field. They show a too high safety look. So when you see too high safety looks, normally it could mean a couple of things. Could mean zone, or could mean 2-man high, so cover 2. It could mean quarters defense, but you really won't know until the snap. So in this scenario, Quandre Diggs, when the play is snapped, he actually rolls down, and that indicates, okay, this is going to be a cover 3, and he rolls into the area, and he just watches center field. So you have 3 deep. So if I were to try to draw a triangle, we need to get the access so I can draw on this so you guys can see this amazing triangle that they have formed. But use your imagination here. At the bottom of your screen, you have 27, which is Tariq Woolen. He is covering Brandon Ayuk in this scenario. At the middle of the field, you'll have Julian Love. So he is the deep safety in this scenario. And then at the other side of the screen here, at the top of your screen, you have, why am I drawing a blank on who that is?
That's Mike Jackson.
Mike Jackson. There it is. So yeah, you have Mike Jackson at the top of your screen. If I back it up a little bit, you can kind of see that it's a triangle. If I pause it right now, you can draw a line and say, oh, yeah, I see the triangle, Chris. You have Bobby Wagner. He's the hook defender. And then you have Quandre, who's also the hook defender, who's playing a little center field. And he's just reading Brock Purdy's eyes. And also the pass rush does a decent job here as well. Brock Purdy's going to step into it and make a really good throw, but Quandre Diggs is able to read it. And I don't know if people gave credit on the broadcast. I don't recall the broadcast saying anything about the play that Mike Jackson makes, because it's actually a pass breakup. Mike gets his hand in there and is able to knock the ball away, not discrediting the huge hit that Quandre Diggs puts on George Kittle, which we'll get into that later in a second, but it was really great coverage and a really good indicator of what this defense should look like consistently. But it doesn't look like that consistently, unfortunately. That has been the bad situational football for this team. They can't get off the field on third down, but in this scenario, they do a really good job of it. And there you see how this defense should look and how Pete envisioned it looking every single week. Guys making big hits, making plays on the football, and just being in sync. Everybody, I mean, hell, look at this little detail here. If you guys watch Quandre Diggs, I'm going to pause it when he starts pointing. He's indicating, hey, you have this, whether it be Bobby. Yep, he's communicating. You want to see more of that. Teams that are locked in, they do a lot of communicating, and that's something they haven't been great at doing this season. And again, he's reading the eyes, and when that ball's thrown, he's hauling ass, and he's going to lay out George Kittle. And Mike was able to give a fun fact to me regarding that hit. And actually, George Kittle was hit so hard that he bit a hole in his tongue. So that lets you know that, I think you had it maybe 2 weeks ago, Mike. You talked about how the Seahawks, they are trying to hit you hard pretty much. And you were saying that, okay, you got 3 yards here. That gives us 2 more times to smack you in the mouth. Do you remember that? You might have been referencing Quandre Diggs talking in the locker room or something, but
yeah, that was after the Cardinals game.
Yeah, so they enjoy hitting you, and that's a scenario right there where great pass breakup, and then Quandre Diggs delivering a legal blow, and George Kittle admits to a reporter that, yeah, I actually bit a hole in my tongue on that play. That's the type of energy that this team needs to bring for the rest of the season if they want to have any playoff hopes. And then
That play is
the
that's in the first quarter, by the way. It's the first quarter.
excuse me, the first quarter. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then the last play I'm going to look at, it's not a good one. It's a low light, unfortunately, but it'll be on the offense. And the play design's cool, but I think decision making here comes into play. And if Drew Lock wants to be the starter in the future, he's going to have to make better reads. Now, it's up in the air if he plays Monday night. It's probably going to be Geno, but for all we know, it could be Drew. But these are things that he has to be better at. So in this scenario, the Seahawks are again in 11 personnel. The Seahawks are trailing 28-16, about 1 minute into the fourth quarter. It's 1st and 10. And I understand this play. You're taking a shot, DK, your best receiver. You want to give him an opportunity to make a play on the football, but it's the delivery of the football. You want to, in this scenario, I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So he runs a corner route, and then you'll have Ty Lockett, who is at the bottom of your screen. He's going to run underneath that, and it's just a lot of traffic in this area. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and roll the play. As you can see, the Niners, they're going to be in their nickel package. They got 5 DBs on the field with both linebackers, Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw, and they're going to be in cover 3. So right now, I'm going to be honest. There's nothing really open. I can see where Drew is going to throw the football. I see the vision. But where he throws it, it's not accurate. It's a very poorly thrown ball. And based on how open the pocket is and how much room he has, he should be able to deliver a decent or at least a better throw than what we saw. Look at that pocket. There is not a player within 5 yards. You got to be able to deliver a better throw than what he does. Now, albeit, he doesn't make that good throw. He throws it to the inside, and that's an easy interception for a safety that's watching the quarterback's eyes. And you'll see it from this angle again. A really clean pocket, play action pass. What more could you ask for? And then the pass is behind DK, who is running towards the sideline. Those are things that, if you want to be a starter, it's very hard to give you that opportunity when you're making plays like that, especially with such a clean pocket. Again, I'll show you guys again. Great play action. I also, Mike put me on game here. Ty Lockett does run, so I'll pause it about right here. This is kind of, I don't know if this is exactly how you want the route to be drawn up, where your other receiver is, 4 or 5 yards off of DK, but in this scenario, you want your best receivers not to be this close. I would try to space it out more, and maybe Tyler ran the wrong route, or maybe DK even ran the wrong route. Whatever the case may be, it doesn't look great, but I also, hey, Drew, man, put the ball way over here towards the sideline. Give DK a chance. DK runs a 4-3. I don't know what the safety runs, but I like the odds of DK outrunning the corner, which he can do, and then having a chance to make a play on the football, jumping up, catching it in bounds, or if it is going to be potentially intercepted, it has a better chance of going out of bounds or being tipped and going out of bounds. But Drew doesn't give him a chance at all. He throws it inside. DK is running full speed, having to slow down and try to make a play on the ball, and he can't. So those are just the little things that Drew's going to have to work on if he wants to be a full-time starter. Again, clean pocket, great chip block there on the O-line by Abe. You just can't have those. I don't know if that was Abe, actually. That might have been Stone Forsythe, but you guys get my point. The biggest thing is, if Drew Lock's going to take the next step and be the starter, those are plays that he just has to get rid of because he's capable of throwing really good passes. Hell, the touchdown to DK is a perfect example of Drew Lock throwing it on the money, making a great play. So those are my plays, standout plays from the Seahawks taking on the Niners last Sunday.
Yeah, no, that was Abe. Stone's not in. Stone hasn't played. You got our boy Abe in there, of course. Go Cougs. Let's see. All right, I'm up. Let's go with. I don't have any positives today. I don't, man. I was gonna do some on the offense. I thought about it. I was gonna look at Drew a little bit, but because I think that Geno's gonna play, I was like, it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna look at some of the explosives because I see why Pete was so upset with those after the game. He's upset with explosives all the time, but like watching them back, I'm like, damn, I get you. Like this one, for example, this is the 3rd and 11. You can go ahead and run it through, and we can loop it while I'm talking. This is the 3rd and 11. Debo touchdown early in the game, And it's just a simple thing that just where your eyes are matters. This was obviously like Jamal's got to go run with this. And like Pete was saying, and I agreed in real time, but now I see it looking back. If he runs with that, it's not even necessary. This is Jamal has been doing the positive version of this most of the season, in that when he runs with this, Purdy's not going to throw it. He only throws it because of where Jamal's eyes and his feet are, and just not where they're supposed to be. And you can see it better from this angle. This was actually what I like. And Chris, I want you to, if you can, pause it where like things kind of go wrong. Think go forward a little bit more, because you can kind of see this is the angle, go back a little bit more. You can kind of see where at the point where Jamal makes eyes with, not makes eye contact, but he peeks at Debo. Back it up a little bit. Like it's right as Debo kind of clears Boye, you can see, like, look at Jamal right now. Look at his helmet. Look where it's at. It's like, all right, cool. 19's coming. This should be turn and run. Now, I think Jamal told reporters after the game, I didn't talk to him, so I don't fully remember, but I think I saw a quote that he was thinking that there was going to be a dig route, so he wanted to jump on that. The problem with that is his eyes leave Debo. Because if you think it's going to be a dig, that's cool. Whatever. Keep your eyes on him, and you can drive on that. You can drive on whatever the hell he runs. You can keep your eyes on him. Keep running it. Where's his eyes go? Boom, back to the quarterback. Well, now you're screwed. And that's just, it's one of those things that Jamal, I could probably pull up a whole reel from this season of Jamal taking away stuff like this, where the quarterback checks it down. I think Juwan Jennings is open on this play for a first down. Yeah, he is. Look at it, number 15. He's right there. They could easily just pick up the first with that cat. And in the past, and at least in this season, Jamal has taken stuff like that away. And here, just bad eyes. Bad eyes. Because all he has to do is keep him on Debo. I mean, maybe Purdy throws it anyway, because, Debo's fast as hell. But I doubt it. And then Purdy even admitted as such after the game. He's like, yo, he flat-footed, so I let that thing fly. Very simple play to stop. I can see why you're looking. Pete's like, dog, we got to stop that. I was still, Chris, surprised to see Pete call out Jamal basically by name. Not only during the after the game, the Monday after as well. It's like, dang, man, Pete, we get it. We saw it. It's very rare from Pete to call out guys by name. We'll get to another play where he does that as well. This play, this is not an eyes one. What is this? Did you
want to show the other play now or wait? That ties into this.
We can wait, because this is the deep shot to Ayuk. This one, there's no tie in here. This is just a great throw by Purdy. This is one of those where if you're like, oh man, Purdy should win MVP. Yes, because you show plays like this. This is ball, boy. Let me tell you, this is one of those like, hey, if Mahomes or somebody did it, it will really be on SportsCenter a little bit more often. But the reason why Purdy can make this is part of another like systemic. Let's say recurring is the word I want to use. Recurring issue, because I think look at this all 22 angle. So you want to speak of running digs? Can you pause it at the top? So there's the top of Purdy's drop. He wants to get this ball to, I'm assuming, Brandon Ayuk. But look where and Brandon Ayuk's there. He just kind of, he's far from Mike Jack on this. That's Ayuk breaking in between the 40 and the hash, running a route he runs all the time against them. The Seahawks, they run a coverage that can stop that. You got Julian Love right there. Looks like got eyes on Ayuk. It's Julian right there on the other hash. If Purdy throws that, Julian is in position to either tip it, smack Ayuk, another guy biting a hole in his tongue, or whatever. And you see why Purdy, if you run it through, does not make that. Well, part of that is because he probably thinks Draymond Jones is going to get to him. And then it's scramble drill situation, and he just floats it. But the issue, the reason why I'm going to show this, is the issue is Purdy even having time to scramble, reload, set his feet, and launch that joint 40 plus yards, on the line to Ayuk. I'm not even mad at Julian for the scramble drill situation. You'd like him to make that play, but like he does the initial job. It's where rush and coverage are supposed to work together. He takes away what Purdy's looking for, and at that point, it should be on the rush. Now, let's go to the end zone view and show where the rush came up short. Part of this is their right tackle, number 68. Like the way he picks up this extra Draymond Jones move, nah, man, that's kind of fly. Look at that. He did a full-on spin to grab, bro. That's kind of fire. Should Draymond get there? Probably. Like he should. The him rushing on the edge thing, I feel like it's unfortunate that he's basically got to do that damn near full time now. Probably not part of his bag. He can do it, but I just feel like them doing that a necessity because Chenna got hurt and they're not getting nothing else from Frank and D Hall. It's kind of unfortunate. But another one of the issues, and Chris talked about this on our post-game show as well, is watch Jamal come in here on the edge here against Kittle on the right side of your screen. That's Maul. Nowhere. You just can't have that because this isn't really a blitz, quote unquote. It's essentially a 4-man rush because I think that's D Hall on the left side of the offense. Yeah, you see him tap, like he drops out of this. So it still becomes a 4-man rush. We just change the fourth guy instead of D Hall. He drops out and then you get Jamal. So you get 4 rushers still. Big Cat, Mario Edwards, Draymond, and Maul. But the thing about it is if you're going to be sending Maul on things like he got to get there. They all got to, get some more pressure. But in particular, like the part of the reason this is a lot of money on 2 cats right here who didn't get the quarterback. You got Draymond making $17 million and you got Jamal making $17 million. Now their salaries don't matter literally per snap, but you guys get the point. Like you brought these guys in because when your coverage does its job on the back end, you expect your guys who are making this bread that you brought in to get these type of plays. And then he doesn't. And then Chris, this is money. This is such a great throw. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. All right, so then here's the Kittle touchdown, and we talked a little bit about this on our post game show, and this is my fault, y'all. I sped through it, and I incorrectly put the onus on Julian here. Should not have been the case. But first, before we even show this play, or actually, we can run it through once before we show the play. That kind of leads up to this. So yeah, they get the play action there. Julian gets called for holding. And then Kittle ends up open. He has the angle on Quandre, ends up scores a touchdown, right? All right, cool. So what I want to show you guys before this, though, or what set this up, which is kind of how I think this works in while Shanahan, it feels like he's always one step ahead of the Seahawks defense. So here is, as Chris is about to pull up, literally the play before the Kittle touchdown. This is, I think, the first play of the fourth quarter, right? So we kind of get a similar setup. Actually, not kind of, we do. Ayuk, 2 tight ends, and then Juszczyk, the fullback, who, look at this versatile cat. My man's lined up in the slot. Fullback. Crazy. Anyway, so what happens is you get number 89, the other tight end. Don't remember his name. Doesn't matter for this purposes. Run this play, Chris. You got my man. He comes across in motion. Toss. They do a good job setting the edge. Reek ends up missing the tackle. And watch Reek here. You can see, watch Reek at the top of the screen. You can see he gets a shot at McCaffrey, right? And then he misses him, and Jamal cleans it up for really only a gain of a yard, right? And you see Reek's kind of upset, like, dog, dang, I missed that tackle, right? This is important to keep in mind because I was thinking about this when I watched the film. I was like, this is probably what happened. It's probably, I'm guessing here, but you guys can understand. Remember when they played the Niners last time? Reek basically got pulled after not tackling. They said it was because of his shoulder, but I'm of the impression that they were just like, dog, you're not tackling, so you're going to come off. And they tried to use the shoulder as an excuse and not make it seem like they just benched a guy. But Pete and Clint Hurd have both talked about Reek's tackling. They're like, they want him to be better, right? So, all right, think about that for a second. You got my man who just missed the tackle. This is the Kittle touchdown. Now, it's basically the same setup. Instead, we've just swapped 44 and 89. What do they run? Play action now on the same kind of idea. Just instead of a faking the toss, it's just a fake shotgun run. But what does it do? It gets Reek to come up. So when he comes up, boom, Kittle's wide open. Because at first, Chris, it looked like, oh, damn, Julian Love messed up. No.
It did. I was on that same train.
Yeah, we whiffed on that. Sorry about that in our post game. But what the issue here is not Julian. Julian's going, he's buzzing to the flat. Like, so that means if Purdy does check it to Juszczyk or whatever, check it to Juszczyk. That's fine. Julian's there. He's got that. Who's supposed to be back there is Reek. But I think my guess on what happened is you got a guy who has been called out for his tackling, pulled against the same team for his tackling, misses a tackle, and now is like, tackle. I got to tackle. And then that cost him a touchdown. That's not to excuse what happened, but I want to use these segments that come to break down something that you maybe not would have noticed otherwise. So that stood out. When I watched that, I was like, They ran the same play. It switched two guys, same joint, get the fake, but also the fact that you could see Reek upset after missing that tackle. That stood out too, knowing that, damn, they just pulled this guy for tackling last time. It's all working together. You can kind of see it. Like Chris mentioned earlier in his plays. It's all little things. It is. It's eyes. It's discipline. I guess the pass rush on mine was a little thing, but you guys get the point. All right. This is the last joint. This goes down as an explosive as well. Yeah, you can go ahead and play it, Chris. This turns out to be the play Ayuk fumbles on, but it still counts as an explosive. Like, this is a 30-yard joint, and it's not a play they covered super well. They just happens. Jay Love makes a great hustle play to save their butts on this, and I believe this is right after, Chris, the Drew Lock interception, which was great. They basically got the offense the ball right back, no harm, no foul. Got it back really quick too. So shout out to the defense for that. But this is another thing they've been getting. They get burned on this quite a bit, and I wanted to show this, and the end zone angle is probably like just as useful. But let me see the all 22 real quick again. Can you pause it before the snap so we can get at what they're looking at here? They're getting their traditional kind of Seahawks cover 3 ish look here with Quandre up top, Maul in the box. Actually, Maul's nickel, but yeah, Love in the box, single high joint. And the beater, it feels like everyone runs for this, is having someone come from the other side of the screen across on that over route and daring either Bobby or JB to run with that. We saw that. Remember, Chris Stafford hit a beautiful hole shot right behind Bobby's ear on the same type of thing.
Yep. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's one of the fast dudes he throws to. Tutu, Puka.
Yeah, it was Tutu.
He got all them fast dudes. So he throws it to him. Now, what do we hear a lot of time, Chris? Bobby's liability and coverage. Okay. Y'all want somebody else to do it? Boom. They have JB cover that now. What happens here? The play fake works the exact same way. Don't matter who you put there. Because in some of these instances, the scheme is the scheme. Guys just got to make their plays, no matter who it is, whether it's Jordan, whether it's Bobby. And you can really see the issue from this other view, right? So watch your two linebackers here. The under center, play action. All right, cool. Everyone's got their eyes. Oh, dang, they're passing it. All right, drop. You can even see Jordan pointed out, and it's uh-oh. And that's a dime. And as Chris pointed out, too, when I told him this was going to be one of my plays, he's like, Mike Jack got to make that tackle. And he does. He do got to make that. But this is the concept that we've seen that teams run on them over and over again. Like, when I really watched this film, Chris, I cannot stress enough. I can see why Pete is so pissed calling out folks. It's like, dog, this is stuff we practiced because we've been beat on it before. Mike Jack actually does a decent job peeling off the ball. That's the route that kind of runs him off of this. But still, you come back to it and you don't make the tackle. So it's like, all right, well, you don't do no, because you know good really to play that well. And then you don't make the tackle. Shout out to Julian hustling here. He was running the ball a lot in this game. But yeah, when I watched this, when I watched the whole game, I ended up not being able to sleep and watch the whole game on film at like 2 a.m. when I couldn't sleep. I woke up like, yeah, man, I can see why Pete is hot. He calling out Jamal. He called out Reek on that other play we just showed, saying Reek shouldn't have bought on the fake. Like, Pete's frustrated to the point he's calling his players out by name, which is rare. I don't know how effective that's going to be, by the way. Not everybody, for real, man. Not everybody takes that well. But yeah, those are the plays that stood out because of how frequent we've seen them get ran on and all of the other issues that went on with it. It's Maul's eyes. It's on a simple play that he stopped before. Reek's eyes and how tackling factored in to that. At least I think so. Just watching his body language on that. On that cover, on the over route that we've seen a million times, the teams, it's like one of the main beaters for the covers that they run. What was the other play that I ran? Now I can't even.
Run play where Tariq.
The pass rush. No, the pass rush not getting there on that deep shot. You got a lot of money on the dude to rush the passer there. There's a lot. I think there was Leonard Williams in there too. Like, I'm not paying him a lot, but still, that's investments into plays getting there. They finally do stop it on the back end, and then you can't get to the quarterback. And not only can you not get to him, he has time to load up and let one rock too. It's so many things going wrong right now. But I'm glad Chris has some positive plays to mix in, because that's the issue. There's more of the plays that I showed than there are of the plays that Chris showed. Do more of the plays that Chris showed.
That's why I wanted to bring it up.
Because they're doable.
Yeah.
There's nothing fancy about none of the plays that you showed, just like nothing fancy about none of the plays that I showed. There's just fewer of the ones you showed, those type, in that they're good, and there's more of the bad that I'm showing.
Yes.
Against Philly, and then literally every game after that, they need more good than bad. That's the side of the ball I really want to see have a night like on Monday, man. I want the offense to do its thing too, but like defense, I'm looking for just stop the plays you're used to stopping.
Yeah.
That's it. Don't do nothing new. Just stop the plays that you're used to stop. I've seen them stop all the plays we just showed. All of them. All those type of things before. We've seen them stop. Just do that consistently. Hit folks. Make guys bleed all game because you made them bite a hole in their tongue. That's in them. That sounds super painful, by the way, which is what Kittle said. He said he was bleeding all game. Crazy. Anyway, those are our standout plays of the week for week 14. And a lot of good from Chris's side. I had to come with the negative. I'm sorry, but it was just so frustrating watching that tape in the middle of the night. I was like, yo, man, I see why Pete's hot, dog, because it's really hard to coach that stuff all week. Stop it. Are there the points in the season? And then you get to a damn near must-win game against your division opponent, and you just don't do simple stuff. Yeah, I can see why that's pretty frustrating. So, Chris, hopefully it changes on Monday because they can't afford to lose any more games.
They can't afford. We fine. But nonetheless, yeah, it's big. It's big that they go out there and they show what the positive that showed on my standout plays. They consistently do that. And they can win the football game. If they don't, then Mike and I will both have negative plays. There won't be nothing good next week. I promise you that. It'll be 6 negatives. Like, the issues are still there. So we will find out, though. Big Monday night matchup. They have an opportunity to right their wrongs, right the ship, however you want to phrase it. They got an opportunity. Season ain't over. So we'll see what they do. We want to thank you guys for taking the time to check us out, learn some football. Appreciate all the questions. Appreciate all the new subscribers. We appreciate all the love and support. We will catch you guys after the Monday night game. Seahawks and Eagles. Mike, is there anything you want to add before we get out of here?
Appreciate the love and support. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Catch you guys early next week. Enjoy your weekend. Peace.